Thank you for having me. I think what makes San Luis Obispo County so special is one, our proximity to the Pacific Ocean. Paso Robles, where we are, the west side of Paso, we're about 17 miles off the coast. So we have a pretty nice little maritime ocean breeze that comes in every morning. And then as well as, yeah, just diversity of climate. So we get warm, hot, nice sun exposure days. And then the night, we have big diurnal shifts. So at night, we can have a 50-degree temperature swing where it's 100 one day and 50 at night, and really, cool down the grapes with some nice acidity at night. So climate, proximity to the ocean, I'd say. Obviously, I'm young in the industry. I grew up in San Luis Obispo. So San Luis Obispo County, Paso Robles is kind of the northern tip of San Luis Obispo County. We call it SLO. So you'll hear SLO, Slow County a lot. And oddly enough, our founder, the founder of Booker Vineyard, Eric Jensen, was my basketball coach. When I'm Jake Jensen, we played basketball both together and against each other. We both went to the same high school. So I was fortunate enough to grow up kind of around the vineyard with Eric being my coach, fell in love with it at a young age, started drinking wine a little bit before I was 21, going to be honest. Officially started working for Booker when I turned 21, about 4 years ago. So the whole ethos behind that brand is we want it to be very familiar, very approachable, and almost a communal style of, hey, it's a Tuesday night, we're having friends, family over, let's open a bottle of Harvey and Harriet, enjoy it, make memories. It's something that's really important to Eric. So Eric, again, our founder, he was one of seven children, and his parents, Harvey and Harriet, so it's a tribute to his parents, loved drinking wine, but they couldn't afford nice wine per se. But they loved the idea of having wine at every single dinner table. And so Eric wanted to create this as a tribute, affordable price point, approachable on the palate, easy to drink, and create memories of it. So actually, Harriet, Eric's mother, had passed away about 10 years ago. She had Alzheimer's. So that's when Eric really came up with the idea of Harvey and Harriet. Started with the red, and it was almost just a small passion project to see, like, hey, I want to dedicate this to my parents. I want to get this out to families across the United States, now across the world. We saw a lot of success with it. It's easy for us to source Cabernet from off our estate, from our favorite neighbors right around us. We saw success with the red blend. So yeah, 2022 started going a little bit south to San Luis Obispo County, sourcing some Chardonnay, some Albarino, Pinot Gris, some Gruner Veltliner for the white blend. We also do a rosé as well. We just want it to be light, balanced, approachable, and again, the whole concept of the white is it's predominantly aged in stainless steel. We want it to be very bright, very light, very fruit forward, retain really beautiful acid on it. Because again, when it gets to be 100 degrees in Paso Robles, a nice, refreshing white wine during the summers. It is, you can't really box it in because it does take on such a different array, but it's delicious, it's approachable, and I love the oak that you get on it because it's subtle and you get the body, you get the density, but you don't get the diacetyl that comes with it. We like to highlight Syrah whenever we can. So Booker itself, our vineyard, we just expanded, but our traditional vineyard, 60 acres under vine, and about 50% of it's planted with Syrah. We love Syrah. We've always loved Syrah. I don't know if you've had our Booker Fracture, which is 100% Syrah, but it's kind of our flagship wine. Whenever we can feature Syrah, especially in a blend, we would love to. But we've always been very experimental with it. And you've even seen it with the white blend. It's kind of random and kind of thrown together. And same thing with the red blend. When Eric first started it, wanted to really blend Cab and Syrah. He loved the idea of blending Bordeaux and Rhone. And now it's almost transitioning to more of a true left bank Bordeaux blend. We're kind of decreasing the amount of Petite Syrah and Syrah in it, really highlighting, Cab, Malbec, Merlot as well. Okay, so precursor. I'm going to have to use a French accent at some point here. So our estate, again, it's West Side Paso Robles. We have a 100-acre plot, 60 acres planted, predominantly Rhone varietals. We really specialize in the Rhones with Booker. We've never had Cab on our estate. We didn't grow Cab, but Eric Jensen, again, our founder, when he moved to Paso, he befriended a man called Stefan Aseo, named Stefan Aseo, and he owns L'Aventure Winery. I don't know if you're familiar with L'Aventure, but legendary, fantastic Paso wines. They also do a lot of Rhones, but they're our next door neighbors. So their property and our property, they butt up next to each other. We share a back gate, which we typically always leave open. But when Eric and his wife Lisa moved to Paso, started farming, they bought the land. Eric immediately went to Stefan for advice, kind of a mentorship and consulting. Like, hey, what do I do here? What do you think here? What do you think about my landscape? What do you think about how steep this is, et cetera? What should I plant here? And Eric said he was like a kid in a candy shop because he kept going to Stefan, and he would call Stefan and say, hey, Stefan, I need your help with this. And Stefan, again, being from France, we go, Eric, it is me, your favorite neighbor. And it started as a collaboration between us and L'Aventura, and now it's grown to about 7 different vineyards and wineries within Paso Robles. So with Booker, we really want to highlight our estate and our terroir. With My Favorite Neighbor, we really want to highlight our favorite neighbors, our favorite vineyards in Paso as a region, not just our Booker estate. Noticed we spelled it Perl.
Yeah.
We didn't forget the A, it just didn't get past cola. So we got very creative. We still get the point across with Pearl, Perl. He didn't grow up farming, he didn't grow up winemaking, but he would kind of go throughout Paso Robles. He would go through his favorite vineyards, his favorite rows, his favorite blocks, his favorite clusters, and he would call them pearls. And he would kind of grab them and say, this is a pearl, this is a pearl, this is a pearl. So it's a tribute to that. It really is nice. It's aged for about 20 months in new and neutral French oak barrels. So it ages well, holds up well.